In the fall of 2023, a small family went out on what seemed like a normal outing to a national park. A girl was riding her bike, surrounded by the laughter of her parents and friends. It started out as a simple adventure, but she never came back. The story began with a peaceful family picnic, but it quickly turned into a living nightmare when the girl failed to return. Everyone thought they had simply lost track of time, but the ticking clock was pointing to something far darker. The girl's relatives contacted the police, and within minutes, one of the largest search operations in New York State history was launched. No one imagined that a small clue would turn the entire investigation upside down, and that the truth would be far beyond anyone's expectations. Charlotte Sena was born on September 4, 2014, in the small town of Greenfield, nestled in the scenic landscapes of New York State. The town, with a population of just 5,000, was like a safe haven surrounded by forests, lakes, and parks, an ideal place for a child to grow up in a loving family. Charlotte, the middle of three sisters, was full of life. She loved playing with her friends and found joy in nature hikes with her parents. In September 2023, she was just 9 years old when her family decided to take a trip to a national park about 11 miles from their home. Excitement filled the air. The children prepared their bikes while the parents set up the tent as soon as they arrived. There were designated bike trails, and the kids chose the one closest to the campsite. It was 6:15 p.m. when they began their ride, planning to return before dark. But after a few laps, the story took a sharp turn. Charlotte's friends decided to head back, but she chose to go for one last ride in the opposite direction, a ride that turned out to be her last. Time passed. A single lap on that trail usually took about 5 minutes, even at a slow pace. But 10 minutes turned into 30. Worry started to grow in her parents' hearts, and the search began. They walked along the trail until they found something shocking. At 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was discovered abandoned at the side of the trail. But there was no trace of her. The bike was intact, the wheels worked, the chain was in place. There was no logical explanation. She wouldn't just leave her bike and walk off into the unknown alone. Her parents called the police, and within 15 minutes, officers were at the scene. Seeing the bike alone, with no sign of the girl, triggered the worst possible fear: abduction. Still, the possibility that she had gotten lost in the woods was not ruled out. A wide-scale search operation was immediately launched. The entire park was shut down. Visitors were not allowed to leave until their tents and vehicles were searched. Some wanted to stay and help, but the chaotic situation made things harder for the police. A full